Hello, everyone. My name is Dana. I am one of the Canva coaches in network marketing on demand. I also have ADHD. I'm so excited to be here. I know that we have our posting for profits, and I'm really excited to share with you something that I absolutely love when it comes to maximizing my evergreen content. And that is using a tool in Canva called Magic Switch. But before I get into all of that with designing, so on and so forth, if you have not had a chance to check out the workbook, you definitely need to check that out. I think it's only $47. I will tell you, I think I have every single workbook that Marina has ever given me because I was a student before I was a coach, and I still use them. I have all the PDFs saved. Anyways, now we're going to get back to Canva, and I am going to show you how to maximize your social media posts. All right, let's get started. As you can see here, and this is just a little bit of a preview of kind of what I do in our network marketing on demand. So as you can see here, I have a post that I created, and I want to share this in different platforms. But as we all know, every platform has a different size. So I'm going to show you how to be able to accomplish that. One of the things that I like to do before I do any switching is I want to make sure that the main elements that I'm utilizing stay in a very similar ratio to each other when I'm changing the dimension. So as you can see here, we have our girl sticking her 2 thumbs up. Trust yourself, you can do this, because guess what? You can do this. I promise you, you can do this. It is very simple, and I will show you how simple it is. The first thing that I want to do is go over to our elements, and you'll see on the left-hand side here, we have our elements toolbar, and you'll see the elements tab. Click on the shapes. And we're not adding a design here, people. What we're doing is actually adding a square shape, just so that way we can butt it up against our element on the right-hand side that we know we want that space to be. A lot of times when we switch designs, and you'll see it, everything can start to get really tall, squished together. And even though it tries to do a good job of changing our sizes for different platforms, it doesn't do the best job. So this is how we actually make sure that we are creating a cohesive look across all platforms. After you've given yourself this nice little guide here, the next thing that you want to do when you have a post that you want to change sizes, you'll see up top, you have your hamburger file and then resize and magic switch. Can you think about what we're going to be using today? Yes, it is Magic Switch. When you're in Magic Switch and you scroll down, you'll see that you have a couple different options. You can resize to Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook. These are just my recents. Or you can go by category. So if you clicked on social media, you'll see that it gives you the different social media platforms and the different types of posting on those platforms. Then if it was a print product, same there as well, and presentations, videos, websites, and you could see that there is more. So if you're a teacher or, you do presentations, you can see that you can put it into reports and so on and so forth. But we're working with social media here because we're actually talking about posting, right? Posting for profit. So we want to post on all of our social media platforms. I'm going to work here, since I already have an Instagram post, with changing it into a Pinterest pin and a Facebook post. So I'm going to then just click on the different sizes that I want changed. And while I'm at it, I might as well do an Instagram story as well. So by clicking on the social media tab, you'll see that you have Instagram, and I just like to do the tab so everything is super minimized and it makes it a lot easier, and click on an Instagram story. Instagram story you could see is 1080 by 1920, but so is Instagram Reel. So it really doesn't matter if you click on a reel, a story, or Instagram story ad. You guys are all the same size. It doesn't really matter. The next thing that we want to do is press continue. When we press continue, you'll see here that it says resize to 3 different designs. But not only does it tell us that we're resizing to different designs, you could see that it's showing us what it's going to look like in that particular platform. So here, the Pinterest pin, you could see this is what it's going to look like, Facebook post, and then a mobile video. And I'm sure you're looking at it and you're like, wait, that does not look like this Instagram post. Yes, I know that. That's what we're doing. That's why we can do this. We're going to change it so they all look similar to each other. The next step is just clicking on resize to the 3 designs and opening those designs. You can see that what it does is it actually saves it to a folder for that particular item, whatever it's titled. So it's going to put all of your different sizes for the different platforms in one folder for you. So it makes it really easy to keep your content organized as well. So we're just going to click open designs and you'll see that this is the original that we started with. And then when I click on the remaining tabs, I then have my Pinterest pin, and you'll see next to what I've labeled this as that it's highlighted Pinterest pin, then Facebook post, and then we have our mobile video, Instagram story, whatever you want to call it. So let's go back to our Pinterest post. I'm just going to minimize this real quick so that way you can see everything. So right away, we know that we have a lot of space up top and on the bottom. Remember that guide I made? There's a reason for it. And the reason being is because when we resized, I didn't want this element to go over to the right-hand side. So when we are changing the elements for these new sizes of social media posts, what you want to do, since we know that this side is blocked off, click on your element and you'll see 4 dots in the corners. Now, these are your resizing tools to be able to resize in proportion and keep it the same. If I were to click on the element and let's say it was a square, a basic element, let me show you quick. It has these side brackets, which allow me to manipulate that particular shape. But being that we're working with an element that is a photo element or a graphic element, it doesn't allow us to do that. So we're just working with our height and width and proportion to each other. So when you are changing the size, and since we have already blocked this off, we're just going to hover over the bottom left circle and drag it down to the bottom. And you'll see that when you do that, it just kind of snaps into place. Now, going back to the original, you'll see that I actually have it lined up to the bottom. So we know that we are completing the design, even though it's a different proportion, it's still going to look the same. The next is this photo element that we have here that we have created into a border or an edge. We want to make sure that it spans the top to bottom like the original post. So we're just going to pull, and you'll see those brackets that I was talking about. Just pull it up and then pull it down. Now, when I pulled it up and pulled it down, we lost some of that pink that we originally had in the photo. And I want to get a little bit of that back. Because this is a photo element, even though we're only using a portion of it, if I double tap on the photo, you'll see I actually have a lot of space to work with, and I can manipulate what you're going to see. So you'll see that based off of what I have here, the grayed out portion is not going to be visible, but where this 0 is right here and where our vibrant photo is, that will be visible. So since I had pink in the original post, I want to make sure that I have that pinkish purplish just to make sure that it looks the same. So as you can see, we moved it and it looks pretty similar, I would say. So the next one is we have our Facebook post now that we've completed the Pinterest pin. With the Facebook post, you could see not much has been changed here, and I'm actually okay with where everything is in proportion as far as elements and stuff. But you'll notice that our text is kind of shrunk together in the middle, and I want to make it justified to the left and just have more impact. So in order to do this, just like we did with our Pinterest post, we're going to hover over the bottom left circle, which is going to be our resizing tool, and pull this down to the end to butt up against this edge that we've created. So when I click off of this, you'll see you don't notice much difference. Same here, you don't notice much difference. You can, if you'd like, if you want to make this a little bit bigger, you could make your text bigger in these taller designs and then just line it up, but move it up as well. So that way you're not overlapping your elements. Now, the next post that we have is our Instagram story or reel cover. Now, this one is a little bit different because it's much taller than the other posts that we've created, but we're going to implement the same technique that we did. So once again, we're going to click on our element and then just drag it from the left corner down to the bottom. Pretty good, right? Then if you notice our edge here, it's hitting our friend's thumb, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to click on our edge and just move it over a tad bit. So that way we've given some space in between our element and the edge. And just like we did before in the other resizing, you're going to hover over the top bracket, and where that line is, you'll see it then has the up and down arrow, and we're going to pull that up and then pull the bottom bracket down. Once again, we're missing that pink in there. So if you double click on the image, you're able to move the photo left to right. So I'm just going to move it to the left so that way we have that purplish pink again. And then our text, you can see, was overlapping, which we wanted to avoid. So we're just going to move this up and hover over our right top resizing circle and drag it to the edge. And so you can see when I go through, they're all relatively cohesive. The next step that you want to do is just take away those purple little guides that we created, and then you want to save your work. So in order to save, you're just going to go to a share, then download, and because what I created, this is a Reels cover, you want to make sure that no matter what document that you're using, you're saving it to the right format. So for this, I'm going to be using it just for an Instagram story. So I want to save it as a PNG or a JPEG, but not an MP4 video unless you're going to be adding an animation, but we're not getting involved with that right now. So I hope this helped you and you were able to learn something new and be able to repurpose your content and make it evergreen and make your life a heck of a lot easier, because now you can take one post, you can change it to all these different sizes, and it'll be so much easier to get your content done, right? For content strategy. I want to thank you so much for your time. It is a very technical process, so I do appreciate you staying on with me. I want to tell you that if you have not looked into network marketing on demand, I could never say enough great things about it. I have learned so much in there, not only as a coach, but I was a student prior, and I just find it so amazing, the value that is provided. I really hope during this posting for profits that you take everything that you have learned for these X amount of days and implement it, because it is just the icing on the cake of what we have. Ciao for now. My name is Dana. You can find me, just look up my name. And I hope to see you guys in Network Marketing on Demand. You are so very welcome. Bye.